Okay, so Elizabeth Warren, right, has called for Congress and the Department of Defense to investigate Elon Musk. That is, it feels very bizarre to me, right? Because now I think it all stems from Musk's company, Starlink, right, which is a satellite internet company. Right, he has a number of satellites around the world, and it enables people to be able to get internet, and it's really good. This sort of thing for like rural places. I think it's been used a lot in like African nations, where the infrastructure wasn't there, right? And to create that sort of infrastructure, dig up the land, put in the wires and, just all of that kind of malarkey to then enable to have, fiber optic internet. It's a lot of money. And there's places that don't have that sort of money to be able to do that. So this Starlink brings the internet to a lot of the world, right? So he's got this, and I believe that he turned it off over Crimea, right? Because there was all reports of like this escalation in conflict, and it was just like, you know what, this is crazy, and he turned it off, right? And she's saying that that should not be allowed, right? He should not be allowed to do this thing. Now, I feel the crazy thing around this isn't the first time things like this have happened. There's been conflicts in other places, and you've had, back in the day, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google, right? They've all shut down in those spots, right? Because they're like, we don't want to instigate what might be happening. And there's been no, calls for those organizations to be investigated, right, by the Department of Defense. Right? No one's doing that. In other parts of the world with other conflicts, this has happened. So it is very bizarre that she's calling on Musk, right? Going, he cannot do this thing. But you're not saying the same about these other organizations that have done just that in the past, right? It's not calling in on Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos owns his own version of Starlink. He's got, a satellite internet organization. And, he's done similar, right? He also owns a pharmaceutical company that has been throwing drugs at Africa, right? Doing a load of testing of things which have led to deaths, health issues, so many things. No call out by the US government, right? It always feels with this kind of stuff that it's not really a political issue. It is someone who, whatever party or group don't like, right? They're like, we can't control that person. So what can we do? What can we do to, kowtow what they're doing? How could we maybe seize control of their organization? How can we get them in our pocket? It always feels like it's stuff like that. You know, like with the whole Trump induction, impeachment. I cannot speak. With the shit going on with Trump, right? The fact that now I know it's slightly changed, but a few weeks back, you know, there was nothing on Biden, there's nothing on Hillary, there's nothing on a whole heap of like Pelosi. Like, there's so many dodgy motherfuckers who, if you are calling out certain things as right, this is impeachment, that's the word I was looking for. If you are looking at right certain things and going, okay, this is enough to, you know, make someone go to court, then you have to look at a whole heap of people that have done exactly the same or worse, right? Or worse, but it just wasn't going on, you know. All of this stuff, it's all part of agendas. Nothing ever feels like someone is just doing things by the book, right? Things that are on a legal basis. Be like, okay, yeah, this is the law. This is what you're meant to do. This person didn't do it. It's just, let's make things up. What can we do? All right, we don't like this person. How can we get them? How can we get them? That's what it always feels. And someone like Elizabeth Warren as well, who's just a liar, right? Just a liar. You know what I mean? Does anyone really trust the word fucking Warren says? You know, just claiming she's Native American, right? For years. And then like paying off all these other fucking crooked motherfuckers to be like, oh, it didn't impact her getting anything. Oh no, she got that all by her. Be like, come on now. Come on now. We know it's bullshit. We know these things are bullshit. Now, it's not to say she might well be smart, right? She may well have all of these qualifications, but we know by ticking certain boxes that can give you an advantage. And especially if you can pass to something else, right? Can pass to something else. So then you'd be like, well, if she's partly that, yeah, that would work. Because, you know, she's still white, right? It's crooked. It's crooked. So having Warren fling accusations and try and call people out on made up bullshit, it is kind of ironic, right? It is kind of motherfucking ironic.